I'm not Hasan Piker's biggest fan. I think a lot of his success is because he's good looking. Yes.
Ooh, wait. No.
Listen. Listen. Wait.
I hate you for that.
Let me fix it. Welcome back to Let Me Fix It, the podcast that says ubiquitous. I'm Francesca Ramsey. I'm an actress, I'm a comedian, I'm a writer, and I'm a social media strategist.
And I'm DeLon Grant. I'm an actor, a singer, writer, photographer, and an educator. Y'all need to pick up a thesaurus because let me tell you, these words are valuable. Actually, I had a coworker of mine say, yesterday you used, I forget what word I used. Who cares? I used two different words that were very similar. And he was like, you really like words. I was like, if my best friend was here, she was like, SAT words.
All right. Well, we do have a lot of new classmates here that might not be familiar with the fact that DeLon, he just loves a word. And there was a brief period in the podcast history where he was saying ubiquitous all of the time. So thank you to Mia, who sent in that tagline via our Instagram DMs. If you would like to send us a tagline, send it to us as a voice note over on Instagram or in our email, letmefixitpod@gmail.com. All you have to do is say, welcome back to Let Me Fix It, the podcast that says, fill in the blank, or you can send it to us as just text and we will interpret it for you.
And to Fran's point, I think we all use words specific. We have seasons with words. At one point I was using moreover a lot, right?
Oh, you love a moreover.
Slow down. Next thing I'm gonna have a compilation of me saying moreover. But class, what words, comment in the comments below, what words do you use all the time, right?
Yes.
We have frases. Oh, that's Spanish. It just came out of my mouth. Ooh.
Wait, did you just slip into Spanish?
Well, yes, I did. Oh, I did speak. We have a mutual friend, Shamika, that I have Spanish conversations with once a week, and I just came off of a call with Sham.
Okay, DeLon, why is my heart started palpitating?
Because you habla español, okay? I'm trying to be fluent.
Oh my God.
But to your point is one we have phrases we use all the time. So class, what do you use? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget, not only can you send us taglines, you can also send us your secrets because we're trying to help. We're trying to unpack some things in the world and invite more of the class into the videos weekly. So let us know. Email us, letmefixitpod@gmail.com if you want us to air some of your business.
Please do. DeLon, I wanted to kick things off this week with a game. Is that okay?
Oh, we haven't done a game in a minute.
We haven't done a game in a minute. And so I brought back everyone's favorite game, Name That White Woman. But this is the Nepo Baby edition.
Oh.
So here's what's going to happen. And class, please play along in the comments. I'm going to show you a Nepo baby, and your job is to name the Nepo baby and their famous parent. But do not worry, I will give you a clue. Okay?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Starting easy. Mom's Broadway debut won her a Tony. There's no way I could top her. And in this funny franchise, her son-in-law's a Fokker.
Wait, her mom, her first Broadway show, she won a Tony?
Her first Broadway show, she won a Tony.
Damn, must be nice. So this is Gwyneth Paltrow and her mother is Blythe Danner.
Yes, very good. Okay,
I'll be knowing some actors now. Come on,
they're gonna get harder though.
Okay.
We're gonna start easy. My Mamma Mia's not just a level; she's also your favorite Prada-wearing devil.
So this is Mamie Gummer, and her mother is Meryl Streep.
Yes.
I wish that I could.
Oh, this is Grace. This is Grace.
Oh,
There's
excuse
two
me.
of them. There's two of them, but they do look very, very similar.
So I think Grace is the one who's on
the Love Story,
the Gilded Age. Oh gosh.
No.
There are three. She has three daughters. She does have three daughters.
She has three of them. I mean, and they're going with their dad's last name, but she does. They look so similar.
Yeah.
No,
Mamie
Grace
Gummer,
is in
Grace
the
Gummer.
new The Love Story, the JFK Jr. show.
Oh wow.
Which I haven't watched, but she's gotten rave reviews.
Listen, I will say this. One of them was I think it was Mamie was on SVU for a while, or she was on some court show.
Yeah.
And you know what? Before I knew she was Meryl Streep's daughter, I was like, what? That bitch is good. She's a good actor.
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, you had better be good. You better not sully Meryl's name.
Your mom is double-digit nominated for Oscars. You better come with it.
She is the actual GOAT. Don't embarrass her. Okay, next up. My mom once married the king of pop. My grandpa was the king of rock and roll. My mom's sudden death set grandma off because now the fortune's in my control.
Oh, look at you with limericks over here, girl. Damn. Bars. So I think
He's a writer.
Is this one of the Presley daughters related to Elvis? Elvis Presley's her grandpa, her dad?
Yeah, the grandfather is Elvis Presley.
I don't know what her name is, but I know Priscilla Presley was her grandmother, and Lisa Marie Presley was her mother.
You want to give granddaughter's name a shot? Just want to try?
Karen Presley.
Her name is Riley Keough. I think is how you say her last name.
Riley Keough. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Did you watch the show? She was in a show on Amazon that was about this rock band. It wasn't good, but she was good. She was really good, and she sang in the show, and she had never sang before. And let me tell you, I mean, there was auto-tune, obviously.
Right.
But Daisy Jones and the Six. The show, not great. She was really good. I really liked her.
Was she singing black people's music?
Well, it's soulful.
You missed the joke.
I got the joke. I got the Elvis Presley shade, obviously.
Thank you.
Yes. No, it's kind of like a Fleetwood Mac style story where like there's a lot of drama and sleeping with other people, and just the writing's not great, but I thought she was fantastic. Okay, next up. You might know my pops as Malcolm's dad, or from that time he really broke bad.
Oh God. So her dad, Breaking Bad, is oh my God, I can't remember his name. I can see his face. You know who she looks like though? She looks like Parker Posey.
Kind of.
Class, tell me if this woman looks like Parker Posey, because Fran's eyes are crossed. She looks like Parker Posey.
First of all, don't even try me like that, because Parker Posey was my queer awakening. Because I love me some Parker Posey down.
You gotta give Parker Posey. Up here, she totally does.
Not to me. Okay, do you know who she is or who her daddy is?
Oh God.
All right,
I know his name, but I can't think of him. Bryan Cranston.
His daughter is Taylor Dearden. She has really had her breakout on The Pit. I don't know if have you watched that show?
Oh, that's right. She's the awkward girl with like, she's neurodivergent, I think, on The Pit.
Listen, and you know what? Here's the thing, class. We are equal opportunity haters and lovers here on the pod. Being a Nepo baby doesn't mean we're just going to hate on you. If you have talent, we're going to say you have talent. And I think she's very talented.
Yeah, no, she's great. You know, this picture is very weird. It looks like you put her face on this body. It's kind of like,
I don't know. It's like her second time on the red carpet, Delon. Stop being so tough on her.
How?
Okay.
You're...
All right, next up.
Who is this?
She's my real life mom and once my on-screen mom too. She survived Groundhog's Day, a funeral, and I do.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
I'm so proud of myself for these like little, like I worked so hard. I can see
she has big curly hair, blue eyes. God, because this is her daughter who was in The Substance.
The Substance, yep.
God, what is her name?
And they were in a Netflix show together where her mom played her mom.
Her first name begins with an E and her second name begins with a D. I cannot.
No, you're so... No,
I was confident. Who is it?
Andy McDowell and Margaret Qualley. You said her name started with an E.
I did. I'm just thinking, whatever. Andy McDowell. Okay.
We only got two more. Okay. He was a midnight cowboy and rode a runaway train. But once my dad turned MAGA, things haven't been the same.
Well, they were never the same between these two.
I mean, they were always rocky, but he started taking shots at her and the press. And
she never liked him. Her dad's John Voight.
But who is she?
Angelina Jolie. I just said it.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Okay, you are correct. Okay, last one. My mom's got an Oscar. She does comedy like no other. She looks great in gold, and death really becomes her.
You better try. You out here making little haikus, okay?
She's also doing the artist way, and it's really unlocked her as a writer.
I feel you and I see you.
Okay, who is
the
it?
daughter's name, but my God, Goldie Hawn is her mother.
Kate Hudson.
Yeah, her dad is somebody Hudson, but her mother and what's his name have been together forever and never married.
Oh, yeah.
Kirk Douglas? No.
Kirk Douglas. That is him. Yeah, that is him.
Is it Kirk Douglas?
Yeah, it is Kirk Douglas.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah, good job on the game. Crazy. I have forgotten about our games. I have forgotten about our games.
It has been
this summer.
It's been a minute since we've had some games. Delon, why don't you kick us off with a headline?
Great. So, class, I don't know if you heard about this. Francesca, did you hear about this? The Find a Black Doctor lawsuit that's happening?
No, what is that?
Oh my gosh. So, class, if you don't know, there's this website called Find a Black Doctor where you as an African, anybody can go if you want a black doctor, but it's specifically geared toward people who need black doctors. There's also Find a Black Female Therapist. There are a lot of sites that exist for everyone, but for us specifically, right? So there's this Colorado-based dermatologist named Travis Morrell and this group that is so-called anti-DEI named Do No Harm.
Oh, wait a second. Is that a white person?
Oh, yeah. It's a white doctor who's brought a lawsuit against this search engine, Find a Black Doctor, claiming discrimination because he cannot be listed on this website. So the reason I brought this up is for obvious reasons, but I just really think it's imperative that you and I and our audience and everyone just sit and unpack the reason why these sites exist, right? Why I was so scared that when I first needed therapy in 2020 that I was like, I need a black gay therapist. It's a needle in a haystack. I'm never going to find that person. Why did I need that? Because I needed somebody that understands my experience, that I don't have to code switch with, that I don't have to over explain with. There's specific things about being black and queer and growing up as a black gay man that I don't want to explain. And I've had white therapists before. I've had white gay therapists before. And I tend to talk around things. So I didn't want that. I was like, I need clarity for someone. I need someone to see me as much as possible. But when we're talking about
safe space, and a safe space.
Safe space to say anything, right? When we're talking about like your medical care, aside from psychology, when we're talking about life or death, right?
Yes.
It's a matter of, I could go to the hospital or go to the doctor and die because I did not get the care that I needed because because they thought that our skin is thicker.
Medical racism is real. And the fact that Serena Williams, one of our most decorated athletes,
resourced
of all time, rich and visible, almost died in childbirth because her doctor would not listen to her about her previous medical conditions, just speaks to the fact that as Black women, it is really scary to go into the doctor and know that they might not listen to you. There's countless examples of it.
Well, and it happens every day. Like Serena Williams, it was she had a pulmonary embolism and she had one before, and she was telling the doctors, I need to get a CAT scan, and they just were not giving it to her, and she demanded it, and they were like, oh shit, you do have a pulmonary embolism, let's help you out. But she was like, I could fucking die, right? She also had preeclampsia. Beyonce had preeclampsia and also had to advocate for herself. But then there's, I'm going to give you some other stats here. There's a 23-year-old Maryland woman who fell on some ice and had her knee kind of pop out of place. Anyway, she was denied care for hours, which caused irreparable harm, vital harm, deoxygenation, whatever that is, to her leg. They had to cut, when she finally got care, they had to amputate her leg. She had 30 surgeries, and the state of Maryland just awarded her $18 million. A jury just awarded her $18 million. She's only getting 4.5 because of caps on medical malpractice suits or whatever. But she doesn't have a leg anymore. Why? Because people were not listening to her. Yeah. There was a pregnant woman in Indiana who was in labor, went to the fucking doctor and said, I'm in labor. And they were like, no, you're not. Go there. Outside. Went outside, had the baby in her fucking car. Lest we forget the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, which from 1932 to 1972, 399 men who were World War I veterans, were not given life-saving penicillin to cure their syphilis because they just wanted to see what would happen to these Black people, right?
Yes.
And
I mean, gynecology.
I was going to say the last thing is like the reason you have modern gynecological research is because of Black enslaved women, right?
Yes.
Like there was a man who we don't care about his name. We don't care who he was, but he was a masochist doing experiments without anesthesia on Black enslaved women. And that's why we have the research on gynecology we have today.
Yes.
So the idea that a Black person wants to find a Black doctor should not be a mystery,
surprising,
right?
Yes.
Surprising. Moreover, would y'all just leave us the fuck alone? Would you just leave us alone, right? We're just out here trying to survive. Why do you have to have everything that we have?
Well,
it's crazy.
Can I chime in on that? Because to your point about can y'all leave us alone, the reality is that white people are obsessed with us.
Yeah.
And this has been like from the beginning of time, because whether it be, there's this idea of like, okay, y'all are going to exclude us. Y'all are going to treat us poorly. So we're going to start our own shit. Okay. We're going to start, Black universities. We're going to start Black clubs. We're going to start Black sororities.
We're not allowed over there.
Because y'all won't allow us. And then all of a sudden here y'all come. Well, why am I not allowed? Why am I not? This isn't fair. I can't do blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, first of all, y'all don't know your history. And it is very upsetting that a doctor doesn't know history enough to understand. Like, this tells me, one, it's crazy and racist that you want to interject yourself in a space for Black patients to find Black providers. But that also tells me that I'm suspect of how you are providing care to your Black patients.
Right.
Because you don't understand that sometimes a Black person is going to express their needs, and your privilege and your bias might prevent you from actually being able to actually understand what it is that they're asking for.
Right.
And the reality is, this doesn't just happen exclusively to Black people. We've talked about this on the pod. People that are in bigger bodies often say, hey, I have this pain in my arm. And they're like, have you thought about losing weight? It's like, well, my arm.
God,
but it's right here.
Listen, a friend of mine was having a hard time getting pregnant. And like OBGYN after OBGYN was like, you need to lose weight. One doctor said, I'm actually not going to treat you for IVF until you lose a certain amount of weight. It's insane. It's just crazy out here, you know?
And so this happens a lot of times, and we cannot put any professional on a pedestal. We all have blind spots. And if you want to provide adequate community care, you have to understand and respect that, and not take it personally that, somebody might say, I really want a provider that looks like me, because there's certain experiences that I'm having that I want to feel safe with who I'm talking to. And I want to know that I'm being supported in a way that fits my needs and prioritizes my health and care. And so again, this idea that like, sorry to just go back, the idea of like, this obsession with what Black people are doing, this obsession with what queer people are doing, this obsession with what people of color are doing, and immigrants and whatever. I really truly believe that it comes from like a severe lack of knowing who they actually are and seeing other communities, despite everything that has been levied against us, thriving and loving who we are, and that really chaps their fucking asses.
Yeah, and I don't even think I think it's overt for some people. I think people are just fucking racist, and I don't know this doctor, but look, it's racist. This is a racist act. But I think it's even more insidious in that some people don't even realize it. The idea that like they're like, why are you over? I mean, there's Alok Menon, who I've talked about on the podcast. I'm a big fan of their work. They often say the idea that I'm over. This is a trans activist, if you're not aware, friends. Class, they're like, the idea that I'm over here living my truth is so violent to somebody else because they're unable to live their own. So I have to act with love. That's why I go, I can't blame you for that. I just wish you would come on the other side and love yourself the way I love myself and the way I'm actively loving you. The idea that I don't think people know that they're looking at someone else and going, why do you have that? Why are you succeeding? Moreover, let me bring up the separate but equal of it all. We're not living in the Jim Crow South, but like that was a narrative that was propagated in the 20th century, right? And so we're not allowed over there. We don't have any government assistance to create the things that we really want. Now we do, but like we didn't at one point. We're just saying, sure, you're not going to treat us well over there, so we're creating our own so that we can fucking survive. And that is egregious to you, which means like you really don't want our survival. You don't understand that. Yeah.
It's so frustrating too, because whenever you try to explain this, and I've seen it in my professional life, in my personal life, online often, where it's always brought up, well, if we had a white site for just finding a doctor, y'all would be upset. Yes, because it's not the same. Because it's not the same. You like, you know, there's that analogy about privilege where it's like, yeah, in this nation, in this world, white people have had a ginormous head start. And now it's like, okay, now we're all equal. Yes, technically, legally, we are still equal, but y'all have had a 300-year head start. And the same way that we understand that if your parents are rich, then you reap the benefits of their wealth. Similarly, as Black people, as marginalized people, if your ancestors, if your parents, if your grandparents were oppressed, you are also carrying their oppression with you.
That part.
No matter what it is you're able to accomplish. Okay, you've gone to college and you've gotten a job. If your parents have not gone to college, if your parents have lived a certain economic standard, then that has impacted the life and the opportunities that you have. And we still move through the world that treats Black and brown people less than.
Well, and the idea that someone is caught up, quote unquote, they've gone to college, they have a good job, they've done all the things that in a capitalist society we deem successful, right? Mm-hmm. To your point, that doesn't negate all the trauma. That doesn't negate all the things that they're still dealing with in their everyday life as a person in their body, but all the things that they had to circumvent, that they had to surmount to get there, right? Yeah. Like the discrimination and everything. I just like it's mind-boggling to me. And the last thing I'll say is, you know, we are going to continue thriving because that's what we do. Yeah. I think it's just terribly sad that people like this need to spend their time cutting people down. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say is you know, to like why can't we have a site that's like white only doctors or whatever the fuck? We are 13% of the population, 13%, and Black doctors are 4% of the workforce, right? So we're talking about a needle in a fucking haystack. White doctors are everywhere.
They're everywhere.
Right?
You don't need
every
you don't
site
need your
is
own
a white
site.
doctor site.
Literally,
you know what I mean?
Literally.
Like I'm looking for something specific for me, and I'm so grateful that the internet has something that I can go, oh God, I don't have to spend 2 weeks searching. I can go to this website that aggregated it for me. You know. Anyway, it's heartbreaking.
I really hope that his patients, regardless of what race they are, go and find a new doctor. Honestly, I would not
I hope it's a Black doctor. Find blackdoctor.com.
I just would not feel safe knowing that my doctor was operating in that way. And I would not be surprised if he has had a history of saying and doing some shit in the past. You know what I mean? I want to know what the I want to know what the Black nurses at his practice have to say about his ass. Because you know they got a name for him.
Oh, that old nasty, that old albino string bean. Something stupid. What's your headline?
All right. Well, Delon, this is another very online story. Well, it's kind of moving into online, but then also like a cultural moment. So you might not know some of the players. But most recently, this Twitch streamer by the name of Hasan Piker was subpoenaed.
I love Hasan Piker.
I do. You are so. Can
you
put your tongue back in your mouth? You're popping enough. Okay, so you do know who he is.
I do.
He's a streamer, and he was subpoenaed by the Trump administration over his participation in offering aid to Cuba with this organization. What is it called? Something Pink. Okay, I forget what the name of it. Code Pink. Code Pink is the organization. Did you hear about this, Delon?
I heard him talk about it. I follow his stuff, so yeah, I did hear him talk about it.
So
I didn't hear about the indictment, but I did hear about him going to Cuba and trying to deliver aid.
Yes. So he joined Code Pink, and they were delivering aid to Cuba. They were off, bringing medicine and medical equipment.
And it's important to say that like the Trump administration is currently holding gasoline from Cuba, and that is how they get electricity. Everything is running Cuba on gas. So like their hospitals, their gas, their actual
they
cars.
They haven't had electricity for months. It's been like 3 months. And this is, there's a lot of things at play here, but what has been frustrating, and I got to be honest with you, I'm not Hasan Piker's biggest fan. I think he's fine. I think a lot of his success is because he's good looking. Yes. Delon's
I mean, but you know what, girl, you're brilliant and you're smart too, but like it doesn't hurt that you're pretty.
I mean,
you know what I mean? You're good to look at, right?
You are correct. I will acknowledge that I'm good looking. I am just of the mind, like some of his politics, I don't think, like he said some stuff that's like anti-Black, and he's kind of done a lot of like the false equivalence between Kamala and Trump, where he was like, she's just as bad as him, and like that type of shit.
It's that far left progressive kind of, I hear you.
Yeah, he's not really my thing. But I will say what has been really frustrating is I've seen a lot of left-leaning Black, especially people like celebrating that he was subpoenaed by the Trump administration.
Really?
Yeah, and I guess because they're like, oh, he's anti-Black, and oh, he didn't support Kamala, and look, I don't agree with the things that he said, but I don't think we should be celebrating that a Twitch streamer that made the grave horror of supplying aid to people in need is being subpoenaed as if he did something illegal. And I think that sets a bad precedent. There was a post that was going around on Threads, and with some people celebrating, and then Jasmine Crockett left a little eyeball emoji in the replies, and I'm just like, girl, what are you doing? Like, I don't think this is something to celebrate.
So here's the thing about Hasan Piker that I've noticed is that, the Democratic Party for a long time, especially I think around the last election, presidential election with Kamala, was saying, hey, we need a leftist Charlie Kirk. Right.
We need a left Joe Rogan.
Yeah, we need like a progressive somebody on the left to like get the young men who are lonely or whatever, you know. Hasan Piker is that answer. He's not the person that they want because he's far progressive. He's right. And he's also like challenging the Democratic Party. He's doing exactly what they asked. He is the Joe Rogan of the left, right?
Yes.
But he's also like really calling everything out. Now, listen, I don't know all that he said. I know that he's said some anti-Semitic stuff sometimes, and this is the first time I'm hearing about his anti-Black stuff.
I want to chime in on that. I don't even the anti-Semitism claims. I think it's more that he has been very fiercely advocating for Palestine, and unfortunately, a lot of people will then go, "That means you're an anti-Semite."
Well, I mean,
and I don't know that that's true.
We're just coming out of the season where we all feel like, oh, we're actually calling it a genocide. We're actually no longer doing that because we were all scared to be called anti-Semitic. So, I take all of that.
Yeah.
But the Democratic Party is really attacking him because of his I dare I say, like, anti-Zionist rhetoric, his pro-Palestinian rhetoric. But they're also scared. They're also scared that people are not going to vote because AOC is like the palatable version of him. He's like saying all of it and he doesn't care. AOC's playing the game a little bit more. And so I think this is playing into both sides, meaning Republican and Democrat. Yeah, okay, the Trump administration is using this as a way to cut him down or to slow him down or whatever. But I think it's really short-sighted, one, because it's just giving him more air, right? It's just giving more airtime.
More people are tuning into his Twitch and his YouTube than ever before because of this shit. And he's
just using it because he's smart, because he knows what he's doing in terms of the internet. But I also think it's really stupid for us to go, the Trump administration, for us to go, you're the enemy, to point some kind of fingers when all the shit that you are doing in this country, in the government, it's a distraction. It's a distraction. It's a distraction from the Epstein files, from the Iran war, from the fucking ballroom, from the slush fund that the administration just put aside, the $1.8 billion of our money to play January 6th.
The assassination attempts that just keep coming.
What happened to the White House correspondent assassinator? What is it?
But then there was another one. There was another attempted shooting like a few days ago. You didn't see that one? Yes, child. You know what? Did you listen to the radio as a kid? Were you like a person that listened to like the morning shows? You know, they would always have like a soundboard with little buttons on it. I feel like that's what the Trump administration has with like gunshots. They're just like, just hit the gunshot button a few times.
Yo, I did not know that there was another one. I mean, it's ridiculous. So again, the Hasan Piker stuff is all the distraction. They're scared, and I think that they should be. And I hope that we all, and I mean this politically, I mean this in terms of voting, I mean this is exercising our rights there. I hope we all rise up and continue to scare the hell out of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're 1,000% right, because the one time that I thought of when Hassan's name was in the news was during the New York mayoral debate. Andrew Cuomo name-checked him.
Oh, that's right.
And he's
Didn't
like,
he ask Mamdani, he was like, what do you like Hasan Piker?
He was like, you're friends with him, and won't you disavow him? Because, here's the thing. Again, Hassan's not my favorite person. He is very salacious and he knows how to get a headline. Okay. So he is always going to say the crazy shit that's going to get clipped and shared everywhere. And then if you actually watch what he says, sometimes it's like been misconstrued. So he said something along the lines of, America deserved 9/11, which again, terrible on its face value. But when you listen to what he actually said, he was talking about U.S. foreign policy and arming insurgent groups and meddling in the Middle East, and like those being a contributive factor to why 9/11 happened. Not that people deserved to die. He was just saying like, well, what do you expect is going to fucking happen?
Right.
Like the U.S. has been meddling in all these places, and now here you're reaping what you sowed.
Right.
So now Cuomo is like, will you disavow him? And I think it's just ironic and telling and disappointing that the Democrats have given Hassan this much power. No shade, but a little bit of shade. He's a Twitch streamer. Twitch streamer. He's not impacting policy. Again, he is interviewing politicians. He's calling people out. Again, things I don't necessarily always agree with, but he also is encouraging his audience to stay true to their values and to really get involved in what's happening. And that's what Democrats need. They don't know how to actually look at what Mamdani is doing and like use it to their advantage. Look at what Hasan Piker is doing and use it to your advantage. You don't have to agree with fucking everything that he does, but he clearly has an audience and he wants what's best for this country. We might disagree on the means to get there, but he doesn't.
But that's democracy. That's fucking democracy. We disagree and we meet in the fucking middle. Everyone's disappointed in compromise. Everyone should be slightly disappointed in democracy because that's how it works. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, wait. That reminds me of when I got a divorce. My my attorney said, I know I've done my job when one person thinks they paid too much and the other one thinks they didn't get enough. And I said, no, that's true.
Where you're like,
that is
good job,
how
girl.
I feel. I am very mad about this settlement and how much I'm paying. Democracy.
Total democracy. But the Democrats are just chewing their own arm off by like trying to make Hasan Piker the enemy, because here's the thing, nothing is working for us well. And I don't see Chuck Schumer. Here's my politics friends. I don't see Chuck Schumer. I don't see Hakeem Jeffries out there every day talking about what's going on in this administration. But I hear it in the news. I feel it at the grocery store now.
You see them asking us for money. Y'all always asking me for some fucking money, though.
John Ossoff. I don't see your ass, but every 6 years when you need some money in a vote. I don't even live in Georgia like that. But listen, I I think it's so dumb because Hasan Piker, the reason he's speaking to us, friends, is because the status quo is not working for us. And we know when we send these people to Washington, they they talk a big game, but then they're voting the same way as Republicans. They're living in a different world than we are. This is our reality, and we need somebody speaking to that. And dare I say, there are a couple politicians, I forget his name, Abdul something in Michigan, who people are trying to cut down because his name's Abdul, trying to call him, say he's not a doctor when he actually is. But people like Hasan Piker, people like Abdul, people like AOC, people like Cori Bush, whose seat they took away. These people are speaking to us because the status quo is not doing it. And you think like, centrist Democrats are like, but listen, we have to play by the rules. They're burning the Constitution in our very face, yo. So you expect me to go, okay, let me just vote and be okay? No, I'm going to listen to Hasan Piker because he's speaking to my soul. He's speaking to the anger. It's not good necessarily, but it is, right? And so you need to be aware of it.
I mean, I think at the root of it is that like we have just had so much of the same, and like now things have gotten to a place that is just like so unbelievable. And unfortunately, a lot of our elected leaders are just not doing anything. They're not doing anything.
They're waiting until they get into power. You are currently in power. You don't need the majority, Hakeem Jeffries. Please, God.
Yeah. Well, and I think sometimes it's like, okay, sure, maybe there's things that you can't do, but like at least verbalizing where we're at is goes a long way. And I think that that's the thing with, we talk about Mamdani a lot here, but unfortunately, he's showing us how much our leaders are failing us because
he's been in office 5 months.
5 months. And this motherfucker is out here. The way he's using social media, the way he, for example, went on to and collabed with Hassan, and not just like the most high profile Twitch streamers and YouTubers. He's going and doing little appearances on YouTube shows.
He went to the White House. He went to the White House and sat there with Trump. Was like, yeah, let's do it. What we doing?
Yeah. But I mean the fact that he took an approach that was like, I'm going to walk the entire length of New York City and knock on people's doors. I'm going to go sit on a podcast that only has 1,000 followers, and I'm going to go sit on another podcast that has 3 million followers, and I'm going to, set up a stand on the street and interview people and ask them what they want to fix in New York. Like, I'm going to talk to people and I'm going to say, I'm not going to the Met Gala. My concerns are with the people of New York, where the fucking billionaire class are hanging out. Like, all of those things really matter. And so again, you're right. Hassan is scary to them because Hassan and Mamdani are like this. And again, he's been critical of him in some ways, but I think that's, to your point about the democracy of it all, we are supposed to hold our elected officials accountable. I've been publicly positive about Jasmine Crockett. I don't really think the way that she's been behaving is appropriate. I don't think you should be on threads being like, isn't it funny that Hassan's, subpoenaed? I'm like, ma'am, that's not a good look, Right. And I think that there's this whole idea of like, well, if this person is a Democrat, then you have to support them, like the blue MAGA of it all. Like, we talked about Gavin Newsom. I'm critical of Gavin Newsom. Yes, he is calling out Trump and I'm thankful for him. But for me, it's the bare minimum. And I'm over this idea that if somebody is a Democrat, you have to fall in line and you're not allowed to say anything critical about them.
Yeah, no, we're past that. We're past that. But because it's really dire for us now. And let me be really judgmental of us because we're real comfortable. Not everybody. It's capitalism, so someone's always at the bottom. You and I, we are very comfortable. But when it starts to affect the middle class a lot more, then we go, I can't. And I know that's privilege. But you didn't keep us in a place where we felt comfortable. I said this before. There's a social contract. Y'all can be billionaires. Y'all can be millionaires. But as long as there's space for the rest of us to survive, to take a fucking vacation. Again, capitalism, I know it doesn't work for everybody. I know it doesn't. And dare I say, Mom Donnie, please make us a democratic socialism, a socialist country, so that we can all survive in some way. Because there's no reason, being the wealthiest country in the world, that people working at Walmart or Burger King or Amazon should have to be on public assistance. That's ludicrous, right?
Or that DoorDash grandma, which fuck her because she's a Trumper. But like the reality is, there's a lot of senior citizens out here that don't have Social Security, that don't have health insurance.
Still working.
Veterans that are sleeping on the street who need health care.
How?
Like, I mean, for all of us being so America first, like, we get treated like shit here. Like the way that we treat undocumented people escaping dire situations to get into this country, you would think that this country was giving people something. And the reality is, we treat our citizens like shit. It's better than a lot of other places, but like the reality is really not that great here.
And let me tell you exactly where we all see it at the DMV, the RMV, the way they treat us in that month. They treat us like trash in there.
Oh my God.
I'm
crazy.
Look,
I really hope. I'm not optimistic as to how this is going to shake out for Hassan. I really hope that this does not turn into, him getting locked up or facing some exorbitant fine. I also, again, I think that this is a bad sign. The same way that when we talked about Jimmy Kimmel getting pulled off the air, regardless of what you fucking think of Jimmy Kimmel, we should not be celebrating our administration deciding who has a job because they poked fun at our president. Similarly, we shouldn't be penalizing
what happened to the
people.
First Amendment?
Right, exactly. And all the people who are so quick to be, my freedom of speech, they seem to be celebrating when that happened. And I argue that when it comes to people who identify as left-leaning, including some Black people that I am, mutuals with on social media, I might not know them personally, but like we've interacted in positive ways over the course of the last few years or so, it's disappointing. It's not a good look. Because guess what? First it's Hasan Piker, and then it's you.
Wow.
And then it's you.
Right. I mean, and even if it's not an indictment directly, in the same, it just gets us questioning about what we say, right? I can't say this. I shouldn't have this on my phone, right? Which is asinine. The last thing I'll say about Hassan is you're doing it to him. You're gonna make him a martyr. You're just gonna make him a martyr, I
mean, yeah, he will spin this. I bet you will. The same way they have like the Che Guevara mugshot. He's gonna have shirts with his face on it. Delon will be the first one to get one.
Free Hassan. Free Hassan.
All right, class. Now it is time for the fix. But before we jump in, if you are new here, hit that subscribe button and turn the notifications on so that you know when we have a new episode. Welcome to the class. We're happy you're here. In the spirit of our show's title, Let Me Fix It, Delon and I like to bring topics from our personal lives or the world that we believe are in need of fixing or have been fixed. Delon, is it okay if I go first?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to keep our political bent going because this weekend I filled out my ballot for the LA primaries.
Okay.
And let me tell you, that ballot, there was like 8 million names and like things on it. And I was so overwhelmed. So I did some Googling, and I want to shout out this incredible website that I discovered called bluevoterguide.org. This is genius. I had never come across it before, but essentially what you do is you put in your address and it pulls up your ballot and it shows you all of the Democratic candidates. And then it tells you who they've been endorsed by and like what issues are important to them. So it's not telling you who to vote for. But for example, like one organization that I really trust here in LA is Knock LA. They're a progressive organization. And so when I was looking at some of the people who were running who I either wasn't familiar with them or like they were running for like local sheriff or something. And I was like, or, some random seat that I'm like, I've never heard of this before. I looked for Knock LA and I'm like, okay, well, I trust them. And also like, the Black Democrats organization, or there's a Stonewall LA, which is a queer LA organization. And I was like, oh, they endorsed them. And then you can click on the person's name and you can see, some of the things that they are in support of, like what's really important to them. And when I tell you, I went through that ballot and I felt so proud of myself, and also like, cool, I voted for people that I actually am like, okay, I trust this. I feel like I feel good about this. Versus, I'm gonna be honest, in the past, sometimes I was like, okay, that sounds like a good one.
There's the judges, girl. There's always one. The judges, I'm always like, okay, well, girl, I guess, Democrat, because I don't know their platform.
Right. Well, and then sometimes and I do believe that this is intentional. Sometimes there are provisions on the ballot that I read what it says and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this means.
Oh, no, that's 100% intentional.
Where
so that
it's
you
like,
don't fully understand. It could be one thing or the other. Yes.
It's either like yes or no, but then when you read it, it's like, so some people think that this would be good and then it could be bad, but it could be good, but it could be bad. And then maybe you don't want to do it, but you do. Yes or no. And you're like, wait, what?
And that's why they have campaigns where they go, say yes on Prop 8. Or whatever that was, or no to Prop 8. I forget that what it was in LA for the I think it was gay marriage, right?
Yeah.
That's why they have those alternative campaigns so that you understand what way you actually want to vote. It's asinine. It's crazy.
It's so confusing. And like I look at it and I think, I am well read, I'm college educated, I'm like very in tune with what's going on in the world. I'm reading this and it's confusing to me. How confusing must this be to someone who didn't go to college, who doesn't speak English as their first language? Like, this is, like, I'm just like, what does this mean?
Who has to go to work, right? Girl, I have to go. I can't have time to like decipher a riddle. You know what I mean?
I know
I gotta go.
It's like, it's the limerick from my game. It's like, totally. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Yes, stop means yes, and green means go. You're like, what the fuck?
Girl, what am I voting for is what I'm interested in.
Oh my God. So listen, class, we are going to keep talking about midterm elections this year. It's very important. So if you are looking at your ballot and you're as confused as I was this weekend, please go to bluevoterguide.org so that you can get acquainted with the people on your ballot, the provisions that are up, and make sure that you cast a vote that you can feel confident in.
Fran, I love that. And we're just at a point, a class in the world, Fran, where we do have to like take up the civic duty. I think the idea that we keep talking about it is because it is so potent, and it is, like I said, I keep saying it's affecting our lives so directly. But it's just more important now than ever that we're active, that we're talking about it,
Yeah, 1,000%.
And my fix is very political as well, just keeping with our political bent. Class, you may have heard that the Supreme Court voted the Voting Rights Act, the last bit of it that we had was surrounding gerrymandering. Fran and I talked about it on a pod before. But the fix that I think is, I have some other fixes, but the fix that I think is so fucking smart and on the offensive, Fran, I don't know if you heard the NAACP is asking Black athletes to not attend schools in, what are the states? The states are Tennessee, Florida, Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, and South Carolina, because as soon as the Supreme Court voted that last bit of the Voting Rights Act recently, all of these states, their governors immediately went to gerrymander the rest of their states so there couldn't be Black representatives sent to Congress or the Senate, right? So the NAACP is saying, okay, what happens is, if you don't know, states subsidize a lot of these state universities. So like Georgia State University, Tennessee State University, right? They give a lot of money for scholarships, for salaries to maintain these universities. And so when a student goes to one of these universities, they're getting government subsidies. And a lot of times, I'll use football. I don't really sport like that, but football in particular, you'll see, the governor of Texas.
That pays for a lot of shit, their school.
A lot of shit. And it also gives them a lot of cachet, right? The state, a lot of cachet. So the NAACP is saying, we make up a significant portion of their star athletes, not only in football and basketball, but a lot of sports. Let's see what what other states we can attend versus these states, so that we can boycott, right? I think that's I don't know that it's going to be successful, because capitalism, right? Because if you come from, not saying all Black people are poor, but if you come from an underprivileged family, or if your family does not have money for school,
or this is the only school that you've you've been offered an opportunity to go to because you are athletically inclined.
This is
a hard one. Yeah.
Totally. I don't know that it's going to be successful, but what I appreciate is the conversation. The conversation is, hey, and listen, I haven't heard anything from the NAACP since Rachel Dolezal. Okay?
Not your girl. Not that black queen. First of all, say her name correctly.
Oh,
okay?
was it?
That is Ngechi is her name.
Not taking this African name. I can't with this woman. I can't. It's asinine. It's ridiculous. It's part of the conversation. And here are the things that I think I would add to that, right? Again, if I'm going to college and y'all are offering me a full ride, I'm probably going.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Yeah.
And my family can afford it. Why am I taking student loans, right?
Yeah.
My first fix is vote. Like we keep saying, know your civic duty, know where your voting place is, right? Look that shit up. Use the website that you mentioned earlier. Say the name of that again, Fran.
It is the bluevoterguide.org.
Bluevoterguide.org. I'll also say we need Supreme Court term limits, but we need to vote for that, right?
Yes.
We need to vote to get people in and to change the Constitution therein. I also would say we need to stop paying money in these states. Stop going to these states.
Yes. Okay.
Right?
So
we need to stop going to these sporting events. And that I think is easier than the former.
I agree with that. To your earlier point about like you hadn't heard from the NAACP, they did a few months ago issue some travel advisories to Black people, and I know Florida was on that list because I'm a Floridian, and so I think two things. I think you're right in the sense that like it is. I'm glad that the conversation is being had. I'm really more happy that like we're thinking outside of the box. I don't necessarily think that we should be placing that on the shoulders of students, of like young people, 18-year-old kids who are, getting an opportunity to leave home for the first time or are getting a financial scholarship. But I do think you're right about this. Stop going to games. Okay, so maybe y'all are getting money to subsidize the football team, but if nobody's in the stands, people aren't traveling there and buying food and staying in the hotels and, pouring money into the school. Yeah, we need to stop traveling certain places. And look, we've got the World Cup coming up in a month or so now. And a lot of hotels have noticed that they don't have anybody buying rooms. That they have blocked off rooms anticipating international travelers, and they're not coming. And I don't blame them. If you live outside of the United States, don't fucking come here.
Yeah.
Don't come here.
The caveat the addendum I would add is that they also hiked their prices, these hotels.
Oh, of course they did.
40, 50%.
Of course they did.
So that's also why people are like, I can afford that.
Oh,
that's too much money.
It's ridiculously expensive, but especially if you are a brown person, a Black person,
sure,
I wouldn't want to come here.
Not on today.
I don't want to be here. I have friends who have, thick accents and they are walking around with their passport. They are wanting to make sure that people know that they are an American citizen because they are genuinely afraid. So now honestly, I'm thinking about some of the soccer players coming here.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're famous. If you have an accent and you are, darker than a paper bag, they might try to round your ass up.
Real quick.
I don't blame people for being afraid. I think we have to carry that same energy as Americans, and we need to show with our dollars. We need to not go to those states. We need to not visit those places because the money is what actually talks is money, right? And so I agree with you. Like, we do need to vote, but like the reality is they're putting all the shit in place so that it's harder to vote, so that your vote doesn't matter, so that you don't have representation. So it's like we have to find alternative ways. So I'm thankful that the NAACP is like thinking about that, but I don't know.
I will add, I do think, I hope, this is a little bit of hope I want to lay on this with them gerrymandering all these states and trying to really take away the one or two representatives that these states even have, because it's already gerrymandered. They're already gerrymandered to hell. I hope that the backlash, I forget, there was one representative from some state was like, I don't think we should do this, y'all, because what's going to happen is that everyone's going to come out and protest. You're going to see people vote like crazy, and then we're really going to lose. I hope that that is the story. That they really tried to do it, and that in doing it, people got angry enough that they actually came to the polls and were willing to wait through all of it, you know? Yeah, so I know. Listen, class, I know this stuff is depressing, but it can be depressing, but it is so important. Yeah. And the reason I ended with that hope there is because we have to be hopeful, and there is hope. There are things that we can do offensively. Part of it is having the conversation, as we say all the time here on the pod, right? Yeah. So please continue to engage, and let us know how what you think we should do, right? What should we do adjacent to what the NAACP is doing with these states specifically? Now we'll hop over, speaking of y'all, we'll hop over to comments from the class. Again, like Fran said, if you're new here, every episode we have a segment where we hear from y'all. If you commented, if you DM'd us, if you got in the comments on YouTube, if you hit us up on Instagram. So I have a couple. Do you have
Go for it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, you can start.
So this was in response to our last episode, which was on the documentary Crash that was on Netflix. Watch it if you haven't yet, class. So I'm gonna fuck this up. We talked in the episode, or in the documentary, they talked about POTS, which is something that the woman Kenzie was suffering from, or they claimed it's postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and this comes from Veloci Joe, and they say the word with this syndrome is postural. You can, but don't always get abdominal rapid increase in heart rate when you're standing, sitting, up from lying down, i.e. major changes in your body's position or posture. It can trigger dizziness, fainting, heart palpitations, standing up for extended periods, more than 10 minutes. Can also be an issue, but I've never been sitting down. I've never had sitting down be one of them. That's usually the recommended advice. This person suffers from this as well.
Okay. Yeah.
Along with increasing fluid and salt intake and compression clothing, that might be your friend as well. Thank you for sharing that, because we kind of talked about it briefly, and we didn't have the name of it.
We knew it was called POTS. I didn't know what it stood for, but if you don't remember, class, Mackenzie's mother said that maybe that was why the accident happened. And it seems that this commenter and a few other people were saying that while POTS can cause people to be lightheaded and dizzy, it's usually because you've been standing up that it happens, not that you would be sitting and driving. And also the thing that we talked about is that in the event she had passed out, like, how would she have been able to control the car? She's going 100 miles an hour. The car was not like swerving around or anything, which would indicate somebody that was, had passed out. So thank you to that commenter, that classmate, for schooling us there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I have one more. This is from Amira Who Cares. This was in context of streaming and canceling streaming, and how I'm just like doing month to month as needed. They say, I canceled all of my streaming services recently and switched to YouTube and reading library books. Go ahead, reading.
Yes.
I'm not on social media, so I'm already in the dark, read pop culture. And the reason I wanted to bring this one is because I wanted to offer a discussion. They talk about they switched to YouTube, but YouTube is technically social media, right? But we think of it as television, which is interesting, right?
So, yes, I think that is very interesting, because it technically is a social media platform, but it's heavy on the media portion, and it is competing with all the streaming services right now. A large percentage of our viewership on the pod comes from YouTube TV. They have an app.
Wow. Oh, I used to have it. Yes.
People are watching YouTube on their television, and there's been a number of articles about this recently, especially as things have slowed down in Hollywood. A lot of productions have been going overseas. The boom of podcast, right? Now podcasts are on Netflix. There are a lot of people who are cutting the cord and are just getting YouTube Premium, because you can also watch some TV networks on YouTube Premium.
I love it. So I used to have YouTube TV, but it got too expensive. So I too sit on YouTube as well. So I just wanted to have that conversation, because I was like, I think it's so funny that we're considering YouTube, not social media in a weird way. Also, I just wanted to give it up to Amir Who Cares and say, go ahead, keep reading them books, friend. Keep reading them books.
Oh, we need more of that, please.
Okay. What about you, friend? Do you have any comments?
I've got two I wanted to highlight. This is from GHI340. Their comment says, I would like to know why Netflix decided not to bring up the made-up language that Kenzie and her mom used to communicate with each other. I think it's very telling that they used this language in front of investigators. They were definitely hiding something. So, Delon, this was covered in one of the other documentaries. I think it was in the Mean Girl Murderer show. Okay. But Kenzie and her mother, during one of their early interviews while she was in the hospital, were using this language that's kind of similar to Pig Latin, where they just add like ooda, 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 ooda at the end of different words, because they're so dumb. They thought speaking this in front of the investigators would not be figured out, but there's recordings of it floating around the internet. And during the conversation, Mackenzie says, can't we just tell them I had a seizure or something? She says that in this fucking language. They also use the language in some of the jailhouse conversations over the phone. And so, yeah, I agree. It was very weird that Netflix left that out. I forgot about it until I saw a clip floating around on TikTok. They are blowing that girl's spot up.
Really?
But just another example of her parents, her mother specifically, enabling her. Mm-hmm. Because in what world would you think, I saw a clip where someone was interviewing the mom and was like, why were you speaking that language? Like, weren't you trying to like hide something? And she's like, oh, no, we're not trying to hide anything. It's just a language that we would speak. You know, parents speak it around the kids when they don't want the kids to know what they're talking about. So you mean when you're trying to hide something? Stupid. You are so dumb.
That is hilarious.
We're not hiding anything. We just use it. We want to hide things from other people. Just so dumb.
Idiotic.
Okay, and then this one comes from Montana B3. It says, oh man, this podcast popped up as recommended, and I'm so glad I clicked in. You two are so fucking cool, real, and refreshing. I'm hooked. Your friendship vibe is palatable, maybe even contagious. You remind me of my old friends from home in Cleveland, Ohio. I live in Texas now. Watching you on my living room TV felt like I was in conversation with you to the point that I was about to bust out some snacks and mix us some drinks. Ooh. Welcome to the class. I wanted to highlight this one because I love it when people compliment our friendship. There's a lot of new people here right now. We have been friends for over 20 years. We met our freshman year of high school in 2002 or college. Yeah, college.
Same difference at this point.
Yeah. So yeah, like we've been friends for all of this time, and the show is such like a labor of love for us. It's a great way that we connect and get to have discussions and include you all. And so yeah, it just always warms my heart. And I think this has kind of been like sparking some thoughts for me about maybe us doing a series on friendship, because friendship is kind of like one of my passions. Like I think more people need to learn how to be good friends and how to, you know, invest in their friendships and pour into their platonic relationships as much as they do their romantic ones and their professional ones. And so something I've been toying with. Class, tell us in the comments if you think that would be something that you would be interested in. I've been having so much fun doing the artist way on the pod that I just feel like it's something else we should explore in the future.
Class, I hope you're doing the artist way with us, because both Fran and I talk on mic and off mic, because we're we're doing separate videos that come out on Sundays talking about the week to week that we're doing with Artist Way. You can jump in at any time, please do.
Yeah.
But like we are. It's really changing so much.
Yeah,
like
it is.
On the daily, I'm like, I'm just doing these things naturally that I would want to do that I kind of been resisting, which is really beautiful. The other thing I want to say just about like our friendship and relationship, we talk about third spaces a lot and how they're disappearing and how a lot of people turn to the internet. And so just to this comment, I really appreciate how we've built a third space here. We really are trying to build third spaces. And the idea that you're like, girl, let me pop some popcorn. Let me find me a drink. Yes. Like we're creating that vibe. Right. And so I thank you for tuning in. Welcome to class, as Fran said. And thank you all for tuning in, because you're a part of, even though we can't see your faces like I see Fran's face, right? We see each other. You're significant to us.
See you in the comments. We see you in the comments.
We see
you in the live hangs. We see you in our inbox, and we appreciate you endlessly. So now it's time for the Glow Up, everyone's favorite segment, where we give props to those who've turned themselves around without our help. DeLon, is it okay if I go first?
Sure.
This week's Glow Up goes to us. DeLon, we gained 922 followers on YouTube this month. And so we've been really crushing it. The Crash episode did really well for us. The Kevin Hart episode did really well for us. We crossed 8,000 followers over on our Instagram
come on now.
And so, class, we're coming up on 1 year that we've really gone all in on YouTube, and we've moved away from the audio versions of the pod. It's been so much work, but it's been so rewarding. We've been trying lots of different things with the format, including comments, a little more interactive multimedia stuff, playing games. It's been so fun, and it's been so cool to see how it's resonating with people. And it's just making me even more excited to just keep exploring. And so I just want to say shout out to us, and thank you to all our new members of the class.
Welcome to the class. And in that same shout out, I have to give it up to Fran, because Fran does the editing for the podcast. She is social media is her job, and she ideates on a daily for social media. So she's really the mastermind around a lot of every episode week to week, so I just want to thank you personally for all the work you do, because I know it's on top of a lot of work, but I also know that you love it.
I love it.
I know that you love it.
I love it so much. And again, I'm so appreciative of you. Like, we both do a really good job of shouldering the load, whether it be when we've done the interviews. The last one, I was like, yo, I'm swamped. And DeLon was like, don't worry, I will work on, the outline and the questions and pulling a news headline for us to dive into. And so we're, this is our baby. We work on it together. But I'm really genuinely having a great time just trying new things and kind of figuring out, just making little adjustments here and there and seeing the benefits of it. So that's been really fun. I also just wanted to ask, do you remember when and why we started saying the class when talking about our audience? Because I'm realizing that new people might be like, who the fuck are they talking to?
literally. I think it was like one of us, I think you were saying something to me, and it was like something that we know. And I was like, well, share it with the class. And then we just kept it going. I think it was just an offhand thing that kept going.
Yeah. Because I feel like that's like a shady thing. Like when people are talking and they're going, oh, do you want to tell the class?
Yes, exactly.
Right. And then we just kept doing it. I thought about it because when I kept getting these comments that were like, oh my God, I'm new to the show. This is so great. And I was like, welcome to the class. And I'm like, that person is going to not know what I'm fucking talking about.
or they will and go, oh, okay, I'm in the class now.
Okay, sure. Should I get my notebook? Do I need
you should.
pen? Yes.
There will be an SAT on words, an SAT exam on words.
All right. What's your glow up this week?
Well, did you hear about your girl Ellen DeGeneres being back?
My girl.
Class. Ellen DeGeneres went away. She crawled under a rock after all that controversy around her being mean because, she was Queen of Nice on her TV show for decades. And she crawled when her employees around the 2020 reckoning came out. Were like, no, she's been a bitch. And then she tried to come back and have a stand-up tour, and that didn't go well. So she crawled away, but now she's back and she has a skincare line. It is called Kind Science. I saw an infomercial.
Don't need enough with the fucking skincare.
But Fran, this they're not testing on animals, and it's age. What you say? It's age positive, which is the reverse of anti-aging. But meanwhile,
Shut up.
Let me tell you how to get rid of that gobble gobble chicken neck. I'm like, isn't that anti-aging?
Yeah. I mean, it's also, The thing about the skincare lines that also rubs me the wrong way is Ellen DeGeneres, don't play in our faces and act as if you are using that shit on your face. You have an expensive dermatologist.
Thank you.
And Botox and red light therapy and lasers and all other sorts of shit. Do what you gonna do. Right. No shade. But then to turn around and sell us some cream in a jar as if that's what got you the results of the face that you're working with is completely disingenuous. Absolutely not.
1000%. And again, I don't know what's in that. I remember my friend, I won't mention them on the pod, but their sibling worked at a dermatologist's office, and they went to go get some filler, and then they were like, "Hey, and my sister gave me this this cream. It has baby foreskin in it." And I said, "What? It has what?" He's like, "Listen, it's supposed to be the." No. I was like, "That is the most ridiculous."
That's disgusting.
First of all, it can't be. It's like quasi cannibalism.
Well, they also had something that was like placenta or something.
Oh my God.
And that was what people were using.
Let it go, girls. Let it go.
Literally, let it go.
Please.
Just and again, I believe everyone should do whatever it is that they want with their bodies. But like when it comes to skincare specifically, it takes months, if not a full year, for you to actually see the results of your skincare regimen. So suddenly everybody's selling something. It's like, you can't promise me this is going to do anything, because if I start using it, I'm going to need to use it for months before I'm able to see if it actually works. And by then I've already given you my fucking money.
I was like, and it's $79.99 a fucking bottle. You know what the best skincare regimen is?
Being black.
I'll drink to that.
Because Delon, every single time the internet finds out that we're in our 40s,
oh my God.
Anytime we've mentioned it, comments are like, whoa, what are you talking about? What do you do? Be black and mind my business. That's what I do.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'll get up and suck some water too. Suck on some water. That'll help you.
And put sunscreen on. Yes, Even if you are a person of color or you have dark skin, you should be wearing sunscreen. It is not good for you to just be getting, rays all the time on your face. It will start to make difference. I will also add, I grew up with a lot of girls that were smoking them cigarettes, and all of them, you can see it right here on their faces and under here. I mean,
listen, I have all of it. I have all of it. But, it's also greased down. It's also full and lush, Yes.
Oil that skin up.
Class,
tell us in the comments what you are doing to keep your skin luscious and smooth. Will you be buying Ellen DeGeneres's age? What she
positive?
Call it? Age positive. I we don't need a new fucking term for that.
We don't.
Tell us if you are falling for Ellen's grift in the comments, or maybe you have a story or a book or a movie that you would like for us to talk or review in a future episode. Email us, lemmefixitpod@gmail.com, or you can hit us up over on Instagram @fixitpod.
And if you are new here, welcome. New episodes drop every Wednesday. If you like what you see, just try out that subscribe button.
Yeah.
Just tap it and see if you want to stick around a little bit.
Yes.
Don't forget, we are doing the Artist Way. So we have episodes coming out every Sunday, really short episodes, just talking about what we've done with our week and how the Artist Way is working for us. It is working for us. So please join in if you can.
I'm Francesca.
Oh, I'm Delon. And this was
Lemme.